We've been married for 20 years, and I'm really excited. He's a great guy. He stuck around with me. Some guys are kind of leave. He's here. He's supporting me. He takes care of me. Even though I can't go back to work and I'm home in pain all the time, he gave me my scrapbooking room. It was my dream come true.
I just feel like I'm getting knocked back every time financially. My wife is just gonna suck all the money out that I have.
My husband, a few months ago, went out and bought me this big recliner for my back, and I'm just now starting to use it. He's so happy. Usually I just sit on the love seat. I love this chair.
And I don't have to worry about Lynette or Kayleen, and everything will be taken care of. It'll just be me.
Tonight we go inside the mountainside bunker of an accused killer.
In today's video, we will be going over the case of Peter Keller, the man who vlogged his plans of killing his family, building a bunker, and escaping society. Peter Keller was born on February 5th, 1967. Now, as a child, Peter was very introverted and reserved, and he mentioned that he had a troubled upbringing. Peter also struggled with his self-image, which was something that would continue into his adult years. In high school, Peter met a girl named Lynette, and he had a crush on her, but nothing came of it until they met again later. This time, Lynette reciprocated the same feelings as Peter, and they ended up dating for a few months before they got married. After they got married, they decided to have a kid, and this kid would be Kayleen Keller. The Keller family lived a relatively normal life. Peter made his money by refurbishing computers, while Lynette, on the other hand, could not work full-time due to a back injury, so Peter was the one working to keep the family afloat. Lynette had a YouTube channel where she would do scrapbooking and crafts.
Hi everyone. This is my YouTube video of my scrapbooking room.
Hi everyone. Okay, I just got home from Hobby Lobby. Look at what I got. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Pretty much this is my anniversary present. I'm so thankful that my husband was able to give me that so I could stock up on supplies for me. And I also got some stuff for you guys too. I got into scrapbooking about 10, 11 years ago. Crafts overall I've been doing ever since I was little. I think a lot of us have. I am a very shy person, and doing these videos really helps me open myself, because I figured if somebody doesn't want to watch it, then don't watch it. I'm not forcing you to. So these videos really help.
She would also sell these crafts so she could make a little bit of extra money. Now, in these videos, Lynette would not only talk about her crafts, but she would also talk about Peter. Specifically, in one video, she would talk about how she and Peter met.
I met him when I was in high school, and I really was like, no. Sorry. I was with somebody else at the time, but I just, wasn't interested. And then I met him again, and he was so sweet. We became like best friends. So 6 months went by, and he was just always there for me. He was my best friend. Just I could talk to him about anything. I was so comfortable with him. You know how when you're with guys and you got to some girls don't even eat in front of their boyfriends, or they watch what they say. I was just myself. I can be goofy. I could be, just quiet. But then we got together after 6 months, and I actually wasn't even going to get together with him because I thought we were going to be moving. So then my sister, we were getting along at the time, she really liked him, and she said, well, you got to just, you're going to regret it if you don't. So I was like, okay. So he kept bugging me and telling me he wanted to, be more than friends. And I kept saying, no, I can't. I'm not going to have a long distant relationship. I'm just not going to do it, because we were living in Oregon at the time, and I thought I was going to move to Washington. So it's just like, 3 hours difference or away from each other. So I just wasn't going to do that. But then we decided to get together. Then 3 months later, he started talking to me about marriage. And I was like, dude, I told you I don't want to get married. Stop pressuring me. We've only officially been together for 3 months. He actually started within a month, and I was just like, no, you gotta stop. So finally, a little over 3 months, he asked me to marry him. I was like, of course I'll marry you. And I grabbed the ring and put it on my finger. I was just so excited. And I really did not plan on getting married. Really didn't think I would be excited. You know, I didn't even give him the chance to put it on my finger. That's how excited I was.
She would also talk about her daughter, Kayleen.
I love my daughter. How could I not? She's my dream come true, you know? And she's just a great person. I'm so proud of her. She's going to college. She actually started her first year in college while she was in high school. And she's just a wonderful daughter. I'm very proud of her. And if I wasn't her daughter, I would want to know her because she is just a very sweet, kind-hearted person, you know?
At the time of this video, Kayleen was 18 and she had just graduated from high school. And she was going to attend Bellevue College. I don't know if I said that right. If you asked anyone who knew them, including their family, friends, or even Lynette, their family life was amazing. But little did anyone know that Peter had been hiding a secret. You see, for the past 8 years, Peter had secretly been going out on weekends to build a bunker in the woods. Along with him, he would take his camera and vlog himself while he built this bunker.
Today we're hauling up a 55-pound pack, basically a big bottle full of beans that's about 45 pounds, and some winemaking stuff, and then just the weight of the gun in the pack. A little lighter than what I have been doing. One of my projects today is to take all this wood that I've cut up recently and stack it up, pull it down, a little of it more out of the way, hidden, so if somebody stumbles out here, it not as noticeable. I just haven't been able to do it because it's just been so wet and nasty. But today is a good day. I'm hoping now that the weather is going to change. It looks like it's getting better. It's starting to switch over. Can finally get everything up here and finish this off. Finally do what I have to do and get it out of the way.
This bunker was an hour away from the nearest public area and was concealed pretty well through the trees. Now, looking at what Peter put in this bunker, it was pretty obvious he wanted to live in this bunker, whether it be for a weekend, a week. He had a lot of stuff in there. In the bunker, he had stored supplies such as food, guns, and vodka. He brought a generator, built himself a stove, and built a whole kitchenette, and had many tools to build even more stuff if you wanted to.
Doing pretty good. Really got a lot of stuff up. I mean, basically I can last months up here without ever leaving. I've got propane, gasoline, food, soap, all supplies. So, really set right now. Well, this is the end of the day. I'm getting wrapped up, getting ready to leave. I don't know if you can see me, but kind of one last look at everything. That's my fireplace, wood stove, whatever.
Pretty dark.
Now we're going upstairs. This is where most of my supplies are. Pretty well stocked up. My window.
Come down on the wood stove.
And that pretty much wraps it up for the day.
Now you might be wondering why he built this bunker in the first place. Peter was very tired of living a normal life and didn't like the idea of living as a civilian. So he made the plan that one day he would leave it all behind and live in his bunker.
Well, before, a while ago, I used to sit here and think, this whole thing is just crazy at times, and then I'd think about it and it would make sense, and it's like, okay, this is what I gotta do. Now, I guess with time, I just think that way all the time, that this is what I gotta do. I don't even question it anymore. It just seems like everything makes so much sense now. I don't really feel bad about it. It's just the way it is. Other times I feel like I'm more than ready. I've tried to make it in this world, and it just isn't happening. I'm 40 now, and I am running out of time. You know, certain things happen that cause this to happen. So, you know, as I do this for hour on hour, it's like I just sit there and think about stuff. Think about, like, how did I get so f***ed up? How did so many things go wrong? I don't think it's all my fault. I think it's more my upbringing, family life. I was just too ugly. Nobody cared. But it was tough. Wasn't interested in anything anymore. Couldn't motivate myself. All I did was work on this. This is the only thing that would make me feel better. But I think I've come to terms with it. Starting to feel better now. I'm not quite sure why exactly. If it's just that I'm getting this further along, or maybe I've just come to terms with what I am, my situation, and kind of working through it. Just kind of accepted it and just rolling with it. I just feel like I'm getting knocked back every time financially. My wife is just gonna suck all the money out that I have. I'm getting to the point where just trying to live and pay bills and live as a civilian and go to work, it just freaks me out. It's actually more comfortable for me to think about living out here, robbing banks, pharmacies, just taking what I want for as long as I can. At least it'll be exciting. It won't be boring. And I don't have to worry about Lynette or Kayleen. And everything will be taken care of. It'll just be me. So.
Now, as you can tell from the videos I've shown you, he barely mentioned his family, and that's because they were never part of the plan. In fact, in Peter's mind, if he wanted to do this, he'd have to leave no traces behind, and that would include his family.
We haven't done part that I'm not looking forward to. I'm getting pretty close to that time. I'm guessing probably a couple months away, maybe 3. Part of me has a hard time even imagining doing what I'm going to do, but as I think about it, I always come up to the same conclusion every time. I'm starting to get more okay with it. Well, before, a while ago, I used to sit here and think, this whole thing is just crazy at times, and then I'd think about it, and it would make sense, and it's like, okay, this is what I gotta do. But, now, I guess with time, I just think that way all the time, that this is what I gotta do. I don't even question it anymore. It just seems like everything makes so much sense now. Just the more I've thought about it, the more I understand it. I don't really feel bad about it. It's just the way it is. Certain things happen that cause this to happen. So, just kind of accepted it and just rolling with it.
On April 22nd, Peter would walk up to Lynette and Kayleen while they were in their beds. He would then pull out a gun and kill them both. In an attempt to destroy the evidence of the murders, he would set multiple gas cans, homemade explosives, and ammunition around the house. These would explode with enough heat. He then set a gas can on top of a pan on top of the stove and then turned on the stove before he left. The fire department got there a few minutes later and was taking care of the fire, but they didn't really realize how grave the situation was. Now, they were trying to calm the fire from different angles. They were on top of the roof even, and fortunately for them, the fire never reached the other room. So if they were up there while the fire got to the gas cans or the ammo, it could have been horrible. But thankfully they contained it before it got to any of those. Now, the fact that they contained the fire was not only good because they didn't explode and injure the firefighters, but it also stopped the fire from destroying the bodies and any other evidence of Peter. Now, originally the investigators thought that they were only dealing with arson, but as they combed through the house, they saw the bodies of both Lynette and Kayleen Keller with gunshots to their heads. Now, obviously, this made Peter the main suspect of the investigation, but Peter was nowhere to be found. When they searched for Peter at his job, they unfortunately came into a dead end. Peter's co-workers said that he had already left and that Peter told them that he may or may not come back. Fortunately, though, while they were investigating the residence, they found a hard drive with all of Peter's vlogs. Now, in these vlogs, there weren't many clues on Peter's whereabouts or where the bunker was. The only things that detectives could work off was that Peter mentioned that it was an hour walk and that there was a stream nearby and that he had made an oven. The reason I mentioned the oven was because the oven had a chimney and they would be able to see the smoke. After combing through multiple pictures and vlogs that Peter had made, they noticed that there was a power line in the background. Once they found the area of where they thought Peter could be at, it wasn't that hard to find him. Peter's oven was on and he was emitting a lot of smoke, so the trail was just really easy to follow. The police didn't know whether Peter was in danger or if he was the danger. That's a Breaking Bad reference. They didn't know if he had hostages or if he was a hostage because of this they had to be careful with what they were going to do. Their first idea was to throw tear gas into the bunker. And when that didn't work, they tried one more time through a small window that Peter had built. And when that didn't work, they switched tactics. The second idea was for police to throw a grenade towards the bunker, not at the bunker, just towards it. And they thought that maybe that would scare him out of his bunker. But that also didn't work. After almost a day of just waiting and nothing happening, they decided it was finally time to breach the bunker. Now, I didn't tell you this, but when the police first arrived and surrounded the bunker, they heard a loud gunshot. Now, police didn't know whether this was an accidental fire or what it was. When police finally breached the bunker and got inside, they saw the deceased body of Peter. He had shot himself.
At this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I may get caught right away. Basically, if I get caught, I'm just going to shoot myself. So, I mean, I could basically be dead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's all up to chance at this point. So, I don't think anyone knows where I'm at. But if they put it together, who knows? At this point, I have to take that chance. So, it's just going to be a point of, go as far as I can. I do have my escape, and that's death. I can always shoot myself, and I'm okay with that. So
now, as we look back into the vlogs, we talked about ending himself in his videos as a last resort, and he did just that. Now, after his death, the bunker was destroyed. I think it was donated to somewhere and then it got destroyed. But all the cash that he had saved up was donated to a memorial scholarship in memory of Lynette and Kayleen. Now that is all I have for today's case. I first saw this when Ray William Johnson covered it in one of his TikToks, and I found it really interesting because of the vlogs and how he tried to cover up the murders with the explosives and all that. But this case was really interesting to me, and I just wanted to share it with you guys as well. But that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. If not, that's totally fine. And yeah, have a good one. Stay safe.